I first got into quilling because of this book, Twirled Paper. I love this book because it came with everything you need to get started in quilling. A slotted tool, paper, glue, googly eyes, and best of all, fun patterns. The examples are great to make so many types of greeting cards for all ages. I still use my slotted quilling tool today because it's essential if you want to make fringed flowers. See how the slot catches the innermost coil? You can't make this with a needle quilling tool. I reach for my needle quilling tool most often, and it's actually not a quilling tool at all. This is called a Kemper lace tool, and it's meant for clay. I bought it many years ago before getting into quilling. It just happened to be in my drawer, so I used it and keep using it. I sometimes use the opposite end to scrape excess glue off, so this tapered end is helpful for that. I use it on both conventional quilling paper as well as the thicker paper I use for quilling letters or on-edge quilling. The paper I use here is called Cecelia and it's 160 GSM. Since this paper is thicker, it's a little harder to get tight coils, but you can do it. If you want to get a feel for what a needle tool is like to work with, you can also use a chenille needle. This one came from a dollar store with a wide range of needles. A chenille needle has a blunt end so you won't hurt yourself. Stick it onto a pencil eraser or a wine cork and you've got yourself a handle. If you're wondering what the difference is between these two tools, I have another video called Slotted versus Needle Quilling Tools, which goes into more details. I'll leave a link for you in the notes below. Another tool I use to curve my thicker quilling strips is again not a traditional quilling tool. This is just a regular crochet hook, and I like to use it for rubbing my thicker paper when I want to get a specific curve. I can achieve the same curve using my needle tool, but for thicker paper like Cecelia, I prefer to gently soften the fibers, and it takes more time. If I were to press into the paper quickly with force, it's almost too much at once. This one is the size of 4.5 millimeters, but you don't have to use this specific size. I just use it because I had it in my yarn supplies when I used to crochet amigurumi. You can buy a single crochet hook, or they can come as a set. Someone was decluttering and gave me their set, but I'm sure you can find them on Craigslist too. I've always reached for Aleene's tacky glue because it's thick and dries fast. It's what I've shown in all my previous videos. However, I recently bought Elmer's glue all to make a video about how to refill glue bottles without spilling. I got kind of curious and wondered what would it be like to work with. I was surprised I liked it for specific reasons. Let me show you the difference. Aleene's is so thick it looks opaque. Elmer's glue all is thinner. You can see the blue showing through it. I would never use Elmer's school glue. You can see how runny that is. During the summer, my craft room gets so hot Aleene's dries too fast for me to use. So if I'm making a large number of pieces at one time and I'm going to glue them one after another to my work surface, then I'm going to choose the glue all because it gives me more time to dip and set into place before my puddle dries up with skin. Glue skin is gross. You never want to show that on your work. Every quiller has their own favorite brand, so just try different ones to see what you like to work with. Don't forget to watch my previous video, Quilling Glue Basics. When I glue a coil closed, I want a tiny dab of glue, so I put Aleene's tacky glue in a fine tip glue bottle. Or you can just use a toothpick and yogurt lid. A shot glass is great to keep your glue nozzle from getting dried up and clogged. Just take a tissue, wet it, squeeze out the excess water, and place it on the bottom of the shot glass. Now you can put your bottle upside down into the shot glass. The glue won't dry up and it's always ready to use right away. At the end of the day, I do try to remember to put my pin back into the nozzle to prevent clogging, but sometimes I did forget and I found it was still okay the next day. If you're finding this video helpful, please click the like button so YouTube will help more people. I first used this tweezer from another craft set and it's okay, but this one was given to me by my sister-in-law from Japan. See how the prongs come together and taper to a point? It's kind of like chopsticks and I love how precise it is. I especially like this curved part so it reaches down into my coils while letting my hand stay more horizontal. These are called reverse grip tweezers and I use them to hold a joint until it's dry. So by the time I finish gluing another piece, I can let go of this one and clamp down on the next one. I also like how the pinching prongs here are flat, so if I'm working on a piece and I want to join two pieces together on my work surface, I just pinch on either side and the prongs are like an extension of my fingers. This company is no longer around, so I can't find the exact same product to recommend. I'll leave some links below so you can use it as a reference, but if anyone has any suggestions, please let us all know in the comments below. If you want to make something like flowers and you want the petals to be the same size, then it's really handy to have a circle template to allow the coils to unwind to the same size every time. For many years I used this one from a dollar store and I put it on top of a cork trivet wrapped in cling plastic. If you have a template you want to follow, just slip it under the plastic and the glue won't stick to your template. You could also buy a circle template that's specific for quilling where the cork is attached to the template and you have more circles of the same size. So if you prefer to make many coils of the same size at the same time, then this is a better choice. I made some previous videos about how to make a quilling circle template and how to use them, and those ones go into even more detail. I often get asked where I get these blue plastic cards from, and they came from these fish tackle boxes. There's nothing special about them. They're a matte plastic and the glue comes off it very easily when it's dry. I like using it because they're kind of small, so they don't take up a lot of room around my artwork. But you really don't need to buy this. A yogurt lid works great too. This is a stiff card from Starbucks, and I really like this transit card from Japan because it's so thin. I can slip glue underneath any strips if they didn't get coated, and I made a little handle out of tape so I can pick it up more easily. These have been my basic quilling tools since 2006. With these inexpensive tools, I've become a blogger, started an Etsy shop, become a writer, an online instructor, and a YouTuber. If you want a whole kit, go right ahead, but don't wait until you have a kit before you try quilling. Just use whatever you have on hand and have fun with it. Now, do you have a cool tool that you love? Or did you buy a kit and it had everything you needed? Please let us know your experience in the comments below so we can all learn from you.